Assalamu alaikum, dear sisters and brothers. What if I told you that the signs you're waiting for are already here, but you don't recognize them yet? There are times in your life when nothing seems to be happening. You pray, you wait, you wonder if Allah has forgotten you. You see others getting married, settling down, building lives, and you're still here, alone, doubting, hoping. But what you don't see is that Allah is working behind the scenes. He's preparing your heart, your mind, and your character, not just for any marriage, but for the right marriage, the one that will align with your faith, your destiny, and your inner peace. You don't need to chase after someone. You don't need to convince anyone to love you. You just need to recognize the signs He's sending you, because Allah never leaves you in the dark without reason. He's simply waiting for your heart to become quiet enough to notice. In this journey, we'll decode these signs, not the ones the world has sold you, but the ones Allah plants in your life when the right person is near. And if you notice them, it means He is opening a door for you. Are you ready to walk through it? 1. Allah's silence is never empty. It's preparation. Before Allah places someone in your life, He prepares you. Not in the world's way, but in His own way. Silently, deeply, in the invisible. He gently distances you from what is not meant for you, not with harshness, but with wisdom. And often, this silence hurts. You feel forgotten, cast aside, but in reality, you are being shaped. There are silences that heal more than words. What you call empty is often the space your Lord has cleared so that something great can be placed there. Before He gives, He cleanses. Before uniting two hearts, He purifies them. Before building a solid union, He first teaches you to stand alone with Him. You see, Allah knows the marriage you're waiting for is not ordinary. You don't just want a partner for appearances. You want a soul that aligns with yours. You want stability, security, a peace that lasts beyond the superficial. That kind of marriage can't be improvised. It has to be prepared. And the first step is you. It is in this silent waiting that your intention is corrected. You stop wanting love just to fill a void. You begin to seek a union that has meaning. Your prayers change. They become more real, simpler, more aligned with what Allah wants for you. You move from desire to submission, from whims to purpose. And it's often then that you notice a strange calm. You didn't ask for this calm, but it came. You no longer panic at the thought of being alone. You no longer compare your journey to that of others. You feel centered. And this calm is the sign that your heart is beginning to trust Allah's rhythm. You weren't abandoned. You were in His hands. And those hands worked on you gently, silently. They freed you from illusions, stripped you of the expectations of others, and brought you back to your essence. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. So when the right person comes along, you'll be ready to love without losing yourself, to give without forgetting yourself, to build without collapsing. Allah's silence is never empty. It is full of meaning, mercy, and preparation. It is often in this invisible season that destiny truly begins to be written. So if you're here right now, know this: you're not stagnating, you're maturing. 2. Your heart aligns with obedience. And it's no coincidence. You used to pray at the last minute. You used to put off what your soul was asking you for. But lately, something's changed. You feel a pull toward consistency, toward sincerity, toward Allah. You feel the need to return to your prayers on time. You begin to distance yourself from empty discussions, toxic friendships, and meaningless distractions. You no longer want to simply believe. You want to live what you believe. This isn't just a phase. It's not a passing mood. It's a divine redirection. When Allah wants to grant you something pure, He begins by purifying what is within you. You can't build a healthy union with a soul still attached to chaos, so He detaches you from it. Gently, firmly. Distractions fall away. Useless relationships fade. What once attracted you suddenly becomes unappealing. And instead of feeling empty, you feel free. This is true cleansing, the kind no one sees but that your heart experiences intensely. You move from wandering to obedience, not out of pressure, but because your soul finally realizes that peace begins with discipline. Don't minimize this change. It's a divine signal. It means Allah is guiding you. He is shaping you into the version of yourself capable of receiving what He has stored for you. And perhaps, just perhaps, the person Allah has chosen for you is doing the exact same work. In silence, in another place, with the same purpose, to get closer to Him. Because the hearts that Allah wants to unite are not brought together by accident. They are prepared in parallel. When you align yourself with obedience, your level of reception changes. You no longer attract what flatters your ego. You attract what nourishes your soul. You no longer want a bond based on physicality. You want a covenant rooted in faith, loyalty, modesty, the remembrance of Allah. And such a bond is not built on charming words. It's built on inner alignment. It's built on direction. And the direction is Allah. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to chase. What's written for you will find you when you are ready, not just emotionally, but spiritually. If your heart begins to seek Allah more than anything else, then know you are already on the right path. 3. Your past stops tormenting you. Finally, you're free. You cried. You waited. You held on to what no longer served you. You looked for closure that never came. You carried the past like a shadow, heavy and constant. And yet, one day, something changes. There's no dramatic shift, no magical moment, but you breathe differently, deeper, lighter. The weight you've carried for so long quietly lifts, and you realize it wasn't just time that healed you. It was Allah. He is the only one who heals without speaking, the only one who cures without touching. Yes, the memories are still there, but they no longer control you. They no longer steal your peace. They no longer make you question your worth. You no longer search for justice from people. You no longer seek redemption in another person's affection. Because you understand now that the healing didn't come from the world. It came from Allah. Before, you wanted love to repair you. Now, you want love to build with. You're no longer on your knees in ruins. You're walking toward construction, toward something intentional, something new. You had to go through what broke you so that Allah could show you what you truly deserve, so that you could understand that some relationships were never meant to last, no matter how much they meant to you. Allah didn't remove them to punish you. He removed them because He heard conversations you didn't. He saw betrayals you missed, and He knew that the love He planned for you couldn't fit in a heart still bleeding from the past. That peace you feel now, that strange calm, that freedom from needing anything or anyone to complete you. That's the space Allah clears before placing His blessing. It won't be a distraction. It will be a direction, not a bandage, a beginning. 4. Someone enters your life and everything becomes clear. You weren't expecting it. You weren't even looking anymore. You had made peace with your solitude. You stopped searching, stopped forcing, and then someone came. Not with loud words, not with dazzling gestures, but with presence. Gentle, steady, clear. There were no fireworks, there was calm. And that's when you knew. It's not intensity that proves love. It's peace. It's the way your heart didn't panic, the way your mind didn't rush to analyze, the ease with which you could be yourself without hiding your flaws, without fearing rejection, without pretending. This person didn't fill a void. They walked beside you. They didn't bring confusion. They brought direction. And most of all, they didn't distract you from Allah. They reminded you of Him. Not with sermons, but with their manners. Not with demands, but with humility. Their presence made you want to become better, not because they asked you to, but because their light made you believe better was possible. This is not a person who checked all the boxes. This is a person whose soul mirrors your dua, whose presence doesn't weigh you down, but lifts you spiritually, whose love doesn't confuse your heart, but calms it. And you understand, this isn't a coincidence. This is an answer. 5. You no longer fear being alone. There was a time when the idea of being single terrified you. You filled your life with distractions, temporary connections, constant noise, anything but silence. Because in the silence you had to face yourself, your doubts, your longing, your questions. But now it's different. You're not afraid of solitude anymore. In fact, you've made peace with it. You eat alone, walk alone, and even pray alone sometimes. And instead of emptiness, you feel presence. You feel something sacred. That's not loneliness. That's intimacy with yourself and with Allah. He taught you that your worth doesn't depend on someone choosing you, that your happiness isn't held in someone else's hands, that peace isn't found in attention, but in alignment. When you stop fearing solitude, it means you've learned one of the most powerful lessons of life, that your completeness never came from another person. It came from your connection with the one who created you. And ironically, it's this very moment, when you stop needing someone to make you whole, that Allah starts preparing someone to walk with you. You don't wait in desperation. You wait with dignity. You don't ask, when will it happen? You say, whenever you write it, Ya Allah, let it be good. That's not weakness, that's strength. The kind of strength that makes you unshakable. The kind that makes you magnetic, not to the world, but to what is written for you. And when marriage finally comes, it won't be your rescue. It will be your reward. 6. You start noticing real compatibility over fantasy. Before you wanted the fairy tale. You wanted sparks, fireworks, something straight out of a movie. But now something has shifted. You no longer chase drama, you chase direction. You no longer fall for appearances, you look for values. You realize that beauty fades, charm can deceive, but a person's deen, character, and consistency, that's what lasts. You start to ask different questions. Does this person remind me of Allah? Do I feel calm or anxious around them? Can I see myself growing with them, not just romantically, but spiritually? You're not looking for a savior. You're looking for a partner in worship, a teammate in life, someone who will wake you up for Fajr with love, not judgment, someone who will pray with you, not just pose with you, someone who sees marriage as ibadah, not just romance. When your priorities change, your filter changes. You stop entertaining anyone who isn't serious. You stop wasting time on what doesn't align. And yes, it gets lonelier, but it also gets clearer. You see through illusions faster. You spot red flags sooner. And you protect your heart with boundaries, not walls. This shift means you're no longer waiting for the one. You're becoming the one who is ready for marriage rooted in faith. And Allah sees that growth. He sees how you no longer chase out of desperation, but wait with intention. He sees the discipline in your heart, and He begins to align your path with someone who matches your new clarity, because your growth hasn't gone unnoticed. 7. Your du'as become more specific and more peaceful. Before, your du'as were vague. You used to say, Ya Allah, bring me someone good, or grant me love. But now, you pray differently. You ask for clarity, for character, for compatibility. You ask for someone who will be a garment for you in the way the Qur'an describes, someone who will protect your heart and honor your soul. You pray not just for love, but for barakah in that love. You ask for someone whose presence brings you closer to your Creator, not further from Him. And your du'as carry less desperation and more peace. Because you know now, it's not just about who you want. It's about who Allah knows is best for you. You trust His wisdom more than your wants. And that trust brings stillness. You no longer beg. You submit. You say, Ya Allah, if it's written for me, make it easy. If it's not, protect me from it, even if I desire it. That level of surrender is not easy to reach. But when you do, it transforms you. Your relationship with Allah becomes your anchor. And suddenly, even if nothing has changed on the outside, everything feels calmer on the inside. You're not just waiting, you're preparing. With every prayer, every act of obedience, every moment of self-discipline, you're aligning yourself with divine timing. And dua is the language of that alignment. 8. Allah sends you clear signs through ease. Sometimes we expect signs from Allah to come through thunder and lightning. We look for dreams, visions, something dramatic. But more often than not, the real sign is ease. Suddenly, things start falling into place. Conversations feel natural. Obstacles disappear without you forcing anything. People you trusted give you clear encouragement. Families begin to open up. The past stops knocking. Your heart feels calm, not giddy, but calm. That's a sign. The Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, said, "What is meant for you will come easily, not without effort, but without force." When Allah wants to bless you with something, He removes the confusion. He places barakah in the steps. He doesn't give you everything at once, but He gives you signs, little nudges, small confirmations, and most importantly, no resistance from your soul. You don't feel drained trying to make things work. You feel energized, peaceful, focused, not rushed, not desperate. If you're experiencing this kind of clarity right now with someone or something in your life, pause and reflect. Could this be your sign? Because when it's from Allah, it's never chaotic. 9. You attract wiser, spiritually aligned people. Out of nowhere, you begin meeting people who reflect your values. People who speak about growth, not gossip. People who remind you of Allah. People who feel like answers to du'as you made years ago. These aren't random connections. They're signs. When Allah wants to elevate you, He sends people to support that elevation. And often, before He sends a spouse, He sends the right environment. Suddenly, you're not tolerating what you used to. You're drawn to deeper friendships, halal settings, purpose-driven conversations. It's not loneliness you're escaping. It's misalignment. And that's key. Your soul is recalibrating to prepare you for a union that's not just emotional, but spiritual. So when Allah starts placing better people in your orbit, pay attention. Because sometimes your marriage is one soul away from being introduced. 10. You no longer see marriage as an escape, but as a mission. You used to see marriage as a cure to loneliness, as a way to finally feel complete. But now, you see it as a divine mission. You realize marriage isn't just about cuddles, weddings, or romantic words. It's about building with someone, healing together, serving Allah side by side, being the coolness of each other's eyes in this life and the next. That shift changes everything. You're not waiting for someone to save you. You're preparing to serve Allah with them. And that's when your energy becomes magnetic. Because you're not desperate, you're devoted, you're not needy, you're nurturing. You finally get it. Marriage is not a reward for being lonely. It's a responsibility gifted to those who are ready to carry it. And when Allah sees that readiness in your heart, He sends someone whose heart mirrors it. 11. You feel an urge to make dua like never before. You may have always made dua for a spouse, but now it feels different. It's deeper, more emotional. Sometimes you cry without knowing why. Other times, your heart speaks before your lips move. This isn't desperation. It's divine alignment. When Allah is about to send something into your life, He places its dua into your heart. You suddenly feel pulled to ask with sincerity, with faith, with certainty. And maybe you don't even know what you're asking for anymore. You just say, Ya Allah, whatever is khair, bring it to me. And whatever isn't, remove it, even if I want it. That's the dua of someone who's ready. Someone who trusts Allah more than they trust their own feelings. And that level of surrender is exactly what prepares you for the gift of a spouse who's written for you. So don't ignore this urge. Answer it. Your heart is speaking the language of divine timing. 12. You see marriage, signs and everything, and it doesn't annoy you anymore. You scroll social media and see a marriage post. You open YouTube. A wedding story pops up. You walk into a bookstore. Love and marriage in Islam stares right at you. It's like Allah is gently nudging you. Before, these signs may have annoyed or discouraged you. Now, they feel different, comforting, like a gentle whisper. It's almost time. Allah often speaks through repetition. He places signs around you to awaken the heart, to build your saber, to remind you that He hasn't forgotten you. He's preparing you. So next time you see another nikah, post, or wedding reel, smile. Don't say, why not me? Say, Alhamdulillah, I'm next, inshallah. Because if the signs are multiplying, it means the blessing is near. 13. You're being tested with patience. Right before the breakthrough. Right before Allah sends a spouse, life might test you a little harder. You might feel left out. You might battle waves of loneliness. You might feel like everyone else is moving forward, except you. But this isn't punishment. It's preparation. The closer the blessing, the harder the test. Allah is stretching your patience, polishing your character, and expanding your capacity for love. Why? Because marriage isn't just about receiving someone. It's about becoming someone who can love with grace, forgive with wisdom, and wait with faith. So if you're feeling tested, don't give up. Sometimes the delay isn't a rejection. It's the final trial before the reward. 14. You're becoming who you once wanted to marry. Pause and reflect for a moment. Remember the kind of spouse you used to pray for? Someone patient, kind, God-conscious, emotionally mature. Now look at yourself. You're becoming that person. You're working on your character. You're trying to build a stable, fulfilling life. You're putting Allah first. And you're healing from what broke you in the past. Silently, sincerely, and with strength. This is no accident. Allah doesn't just give you what you pray for. He makes you what you need to be to receive it. So if you feel yourself growing in areas you never imagined before, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, it's a beautiful sign. You're being matched, not just to a person, but to a divine moment. 15. You feel peace. When you think about the future, even if it's unknown, known, the biggest sign, you're not afraid anymore. Not of loneliness, not of delays, not of what if it never happens. Instead, you feel peace. Even if the road is still unclear, your heart feels calm. Not because you know the future, but because you trust the one who writes it. This is the final preparation, when you stop chasing marriage out of fear and start trusting Allah's plan out of love. That's when it arrives. Because you're no longer depending on timing or people or signs. You're depending on Allah, and that's when the doors open wide. Your time is coming. If you've made it this far, know this. These signs aren't random. They are reminders that Allah hasn't forgotten you, that your du'as are working quietly, powerfully, and behind the scenes. So don't lose hope. Keep becoming, keep trusting, keep praying, because sometimes Allah makes you wait so He can give you more than you ever asked for. And when it finally happens, when that soul destined for you walks into your life, it will all make sense. You weren't waiting. You were being written into someone's prayer. Love is one of the most mysterious and powerful forces that shape our lives. It arrives unannounced, often in ways we never expected. Sometimes it connects two souls who seem perfect for each other, but other times it challenges our understanding by bringing together people with a significant age difference. The world has its own opinions about such relationships. Some are quick to judge, others question the intentions behind them. But as Muslims, we must ask, what does Allah say? What truly matters when two hearts align despite an age gap? Is it a coincidence, a test, or a sign of something greater? Islam teaches us that love is never random. Every relationship, every bond, every emotion we experience is part of Allah's divine plan. But not every connection is meant to last, and not every love story is a blessing. That's why it's important to understand the deeper wisdom behind it. If you find yourself in a situation where someone much older or younger than you has developed feelings for you, or if you feel drawn to someone outside of your expected age range, pause and reflect. There is a reason why this is happening, and there is guidance in Islam that can help you navigate it with clarity. In today's video, we will explore the Islamic perspective on love and age difference, what is permissible, what is wise, and how to determine if this love is leading you toward righteousness or away from it. We will turn to the Qur'an, the Hadith, and practical relationship insights to help you make a decision that aligns with your faith and future. Stay with us until the end, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see love forever. Age difference in Islamic history. Love and companionship are not limited by age. Throughout history, some of the most meaningful relationships were built on trust, faith, and mutual understanding rather than numbers. Islam provides us with beautiful examples that teach us an important lesson. Age is not the most important factor in love. Character, faith, and sincerity are. One of the most inspiring marriages in Islamic history is that of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, and Khadijah, R.A. She was not only older than him by 15 years, but she was also a successful businesswoman, a woman of wisdom, and a pillar of strength. Despite their age difference, their marriage flourished with love, respect, and unwavering support. She believed in him when no one else did, stood by his side when times were tough, and was his source of comfort when the world turned against him. Their relationship was not built on fleeting attraction, but on something much deeper: faith, loyalty, and a shared purpose. On the other hand, the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, also married Aisha, Allah please upon her, who was much younger than him. Despite the difference in age, their bond was one of warmth, kindness, and knowledge. She became one of the greatest scholars in Islamic history, narrating countless hadiths and teaching generations after him. Their relationship showed that love is not just about companionship. It is also about growth, learning, and supporting each other in becoming better. These marriages remind us that what truly matters is not how many years separate two people, but how well they connect in their faith and character. While society may focus on numbers, Islam teaches us to look deeper, at values, at intentions, and at the ability to build a righteous home together. But does this mean that age should never be considered? Not necessarily. While Islam emphasizes piety and compatibility over age, it is also important to recognize that relationships come with responsibilities. A significant age difference can bring unique challenges, and both individuals must be prepared to navigate them with wisdom and patience. Understanding the lessons from Islamic history helps us shift our focus. Instead of getting caught up in age differences, we should ask, do we bring out the best in each other? Do we strengthen each other's faith? Are we building a relationship that is pleasing to Allah? Because in the end, these are the things that truly define the success of any love story. Love is a test, not just a feeling. Love is one of the most powerful emotions a person can experience. But in Islam, it is more than just a feeling, it is a test. When we develop deep emotions for someone, especially when the relationship comes with unique challenges, such as an age difference, we must pause and reflect. Is this love leading us towards Allah, or is it a distraction? Allah reminds us in the Qur'an, "It may be that you dislike a thing, and Allah brings through it a great deal of good." Quran 19. This verse teaches us a profound lesson. Sometimes what we think is difficult or unusual may carry hidden blessings. Other times, what appears beautiful and desirable can be a test in disguise. Love is not always straightforward. It challenges us to make choices that align with faith and wisdom rather than just emotions. So how do we know if this love is a blessing or a test that may lead us astray? Here are 3 essential questions to ask yourself. 1. Does this love bring you closer to Allah? A relationship built on true love should strengthen your faith, not weaken it. If being with this person increases your awareness of Allah, inspires you to improve your character, and encourages you to fulfill your religious duties, then this love may be a means of guidance. But if it distracts you from prayer, distances you from your faith, or leads to actions that displease Allah, then it is a sign that this love may not be right for you. 2. Is there mutual respect and understanding? Love alone is not enough to sustain a relationship. There must be respect, patience, and a willingness to understand one another. A significant age gap can create differences in life experiences, expectations, and decision-making. Are both individuals willing to listen, compromise, and support each other through challenges? If there is wisdom in the relationship, it has the potential to grow into something meaningful. But if it is filled with conflict, misunderstanding, or imbalance, it may not be built to last. 3. Is the foundation built on faith or just attraction? Physical beauty and emotional excitement can fade over time, but faith and character remain. A love that is purely based on attraction will not withstand the trials of life. True love is rooted in shared values, trust, and a commitment to pleasing Allah. If the foundation of the relationship is weak, the challenges of age difference may become overwhelming. But if it is built on faith and sincerity, it has the strength to endure. When love enters our lives, it is easy to become overwhelmed by emotions. But as Muslims, we must remember that every test, including love, is a chance to grow closer to Allah. Before making any decisions, reflect deeply. Ask yourself, is this love guiding me toward righteousness, or is it pulling me away from what truly matters? The answer to this question will help you see whether this relationship is a blessing or a trial that requires wisdom and patience to overcome. Navigating family and societal pressure. In an ideal world, love would be simple, but in reality, relationships often come with challenges, especially when there is a noticeable age gap. Family members may disapprove, friends may question your choices, and society may cast judgment. However, as Muslims, we must remember that marriage is not about following cultural expectations. It is about fulfilling a divine purpose. That being said, Islam teaches us the importance of wisdom, respect, and seeking guidance in major life decisions. The Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, emphasized the role of family and guardians in marriage, saying, "There is no marriage without the consent of the guardian." Sunan Ibn Majah. This means that while love is personal, marriage should not be entered into recklessly. Seeking the advice of elders and those who care about us is part of making a wise and balanced decision. Parents and guardians have life experience, and their concerns may stem from genuine care rather than just cultural expectations. So how do you approach family resistance to an age gap relationship? Have honest and respectful discussions. If your family expresses concern, do not react with frustration or defiance. Instead, take the time to understand their worries. Is it about maturity, life stage differences, or financial stability? Show them that your decision is based on Islamic values, not just emotions. A relationship built on mutual respect, shared faith, and commitment will hold more weight than one based purely on feelings. Pray istikhara and seek Allah's guidance. If family resistance remains strong despite your efforts, turn to Allah. Istikhara is the most powerful tool a believer has when facing uncertainty. When you pray and sincerely ask for guidance, Allah will direct your heart toward what is best for you. If the relationship is good for your deen and future, Allah will make a way for it. If it is not, He will remove it from your path. At the end of the day, no relationship is worth sacrificing your peace of mind or your connection with Allah. Marriage is a sacred bond, and it should be entered into with wisdom, not just emotions. If the love is true and meant for you, Allah will guide it toward what is best. But if it is not, trust that He has something far greater planned for you. May Allah guide all of us to relationships that strengthen our faith and bring us closer to Him. Ameen. If this video resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments. The human heart is more than just an organ that keeps us alive. It is a sacred part of us that holds our emotions, intentions, and even the unseen connections we share with others. Have you ever had a moment when someone suddenly comes to mind? Their name echoes in your thoughts, or you feel a strange warmth in your heart? Could it be that they are thinking about you at that very moment? In Islam, the heart is not just a part of our body. It is the center of our spiritual and emotional being. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, beautifully explained this when he said, "Indeed, in the body there is a piece of flesh. If it is sound, the whole body is sound, and if it is corrupt, the whole body is corrupt. Indeed, it is the heart." Sahih al-Bukhari 52, Sahih Muslim 99. This hadith reminds us that the state of our hearts shapes our thoughts, relationships, and even the way we connect with others. But the heart doesn't just feel our own emotions. It also picks up on the unseen bonds that Allah has placed between us and others. Every lingering thought, every unexplained feeling has wisdom behind it. While the mind may dismiss these moments as mere coincidence, the heart often senses something much deeper. If someone is thinking about you with sincerity, could their emotions, prayers, or even their longing reach you in ways beyond the physical world? In today's video, We will explore 5 clear signs that someone is thinking about you from the heart. These signs are not only rooted in psychology, but also deeply connected to Islamic wisdom. Pay close attention to each one because by the end of this video, you will have a new understanding of how our hearts communicate, even in silence. And the final sign? It will change the way you see the connections that Allah has placed in your life. Stay with us until the end. You won't want to miss it. Number 1. Unexplainable thoughts and dreams. There are moments when a certain person comes to mind out of nowhere. You could be engaged in your daily routine, working, eating, or even praying when suddenly their name, their face, or a memory of them flashes in your mind. It feels so vivid, almost as if they are present at that very moment. You may even brush it off as a random thought. But what if it isn't? What if this is a sign that someone somewhere is thinking about you just as intensely? Psychologists call this telepathic thought transmission, the idea that when someone deeply focuses on another person, their thoughts might reach them subconsciously. But as Muslims, we understand that there is a greater wisdom behind such experiences. The heart is not just a physical organ, it is a spiritual center that Allah has given us to feel, to connect, and to sense beyond the physical realm. And then there are dreams, those mysterious visions that visit us in our sleep. Sometimes we see someone in our dreams repeatedly, even if we have not spoken to them in a long time. It could be an old friend, a distant relative, or even someone we barely know, yet their presence in our dreams feels significant. Could this be a message? Could it be that their soul is reaching out to us in ways beyond human understanding? The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, said, "A good dream that comes true is from Allah." Sahih al-Bukhari, 6499, Sahih Muslim, 4200. This hadith teaches us that not all dreams are meaningless. Some are direct messages from Allah, signs meant to guide us, remind us, or even reconnect us with those who are thinking about us. When you dream of someone repeatedly, it could be that Allah is showing you their presence for a reason. Perhaps they are praying for you, missing you, or carrying you in their thoughts with sincerity. In Islamic spirituality, the heart and soul are more connected than we realize. When we think of someone with pure intentions, that thought does not just vanish into thin air, it can manifest in unexpected ways. The same can happen in reverse. When someone holds you in their thoughts, whether with love, concern, or even longing, their emotions may find a way to reach you. So the next time a person crosses your mind unexpectedly, take a moment to reflect. Is this just a fleeting thought, or is there something deeper at play? Could it be that Allah is trying to remind you of this person for a reason? Instead of ignoring it, turn to dua. Ask Allah to bless them, to grant them peace, and to guide both your hearts in the best way. Because sometimes, the unseen connections between souls are more powerful than we can ever comprehend. Number 2. Spontaneous dua or good feelings. There are moments in life when you suddenly feel a sense of peace wash over you. You could be going through a difficult time, burdened by worries, and then without warning, you experience an unexplainable calmness. It feels as if something heavy has been lifted from your heart. Or perhaps you feel unexpectedly happy, as if a door of ease has opened in your life. You may not understand why, but what if this feeling is not random? What if someone, somewhere, is making a heartfelt dua for you at that very moment? In Islam, dua is not just words spoken into the air. It is a powerful bridge between hearts. The Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, said, "The supplication of a Muslim for his brother in his absence will certainly be answered. Every time he makes a supplication for good for his brother, the angel appointed for this particular task says, Ameen, May it be for you too. Sahih Muslim 2733. This means that when someone prays for you, their words do not go unnoticed. They rise to the heavens, and Allah hears them. The angels themselves respond with Ameen and ask for the same blessings to be given to the one making the dua. Imagine, while you are unaware, someone could be thinking of you, asking Allah to protect you, to grant you ease, or to bring you success. As a result, you feel an unexplained relief, a sudden burst of motivation, or a deep sense of tranquility. This is a reminder that our hearts are connected in ways beyond what we see. The love, care, and sincerity that someone holds for you can manifest in your life through their prayers. A mother prays for her child, and the child finds ease. A friend makes dua for another, and blessings enter their life. A stranger you once helped remembers you in their supplication, and without even knowing it, you receive goodness in return. So the next time you feel unexpectedly at peace, or suddenly find clarity in a situation that once seemed impossible, take a moment to reflect. Could it be that someone has remembered you in their dua? Could it be that Allah has accepted their supplication for you? And just as others may be praying for us, we too should make dua for others. Every time you think of someone with love and sincerity, ask Allah to bless them, because in doing so, the angels will pray for you in return. And what greater blessing is there than to have the angels themselves asking Allah to grant you goodness? Number 3, unexpected meetings or connections. Life is not a series of random events. Every encounter, every meeting, and every reconnection happens by the will of Allah. Nothing is accidental. Have you ever noticed that you keep running into the same person over and over again? Maybe you see them in unexpected places, a marketplace, a gathering, or even online. Perhaps their name keeps appearing in conversations, or mutual friends keep mentioning them without you asking. These moments might seem like coincidences, but in Islam, we know that nothing happens without a purpose. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, gave us a beautiful insight into human connections. He said, "Souls are like conscripted soldiers. Those whom they recognized, they became close with, and those whom they did not recognize, they remained distant." Sahih Bukhari 1336, Sahih Muslim 2638. This means that before we even came into this world, our souls had already encountered one another. Some souls naturally connect, drawn to each other in ways beyond our understanding. And when Allah wills, He causes these souls to cross paths in this life again and again. Think about it. How many times have you met someone and felt an instant familiarity, as if you had known them forever? And on the other hand, there are people you meet once, but never encounter again. This is because every meeting, every connection, is part of a greater plan that we cannot always see. If you frequently find yourself in the presence of a particular person without any planning, it may be a sign that Allah has placed them in your life for a reason. It could be that they have a role to play in your journey, or perhaps you in theirs. Maybe they are meant to bring you closer to Allah, to teach you a lesson, or to be a source of support and guidance. So when you experience these unexpected meetings, pause for a moment and reflect. Ask yourself, is this just by chance, or is there a hidden wisdom behind it? Could it be that this person has been thinking about you, and Allah is drawing your paths together as a response? These moments are reminders that our lives are beautifully woven by the decree of Allah. If certain people keep appearing in your life, do not ignore it. Instead, seek the wisdom in these connections. And most importantly, pray that Allah grants you the insight to understand their purpose. For every meeting is a chapter in the story that He has written for you. Number 4, physical reactions to someone's thoughts. Our bodies have a way of sensing things before our minds even understand them. Have you ever felt a sudden rush of warmth, an unexplainable shiver, or even your heart beating faster when you think of someone? It happens in a way that seems beyond your control. Science describes this as an emotional response triggered by the subconscious mind. But in Islam, we know that there is a deeper reality, one that is connected to the unseen bonds Allah has placed between people. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, beautifully described the unity and connection between believers when he said, "The example of the believers in their affection, mercy, and compassion for each other is that of a body. When any limb aches, the whole body responds with sleeplessness and fever." Sahih al-Bukhari, 6011, Sahih Muslim, 2586. This hadith teaches us something profound. Just as pain in one part of the body affects the entire body, the emotions of those close to us can reach us in ways we do not always understand. If someone cares for you, misses you, or even prays for you with sincerity, you may physically feel the effects of their thoughts and prayers. You may feel their presence without them being physically near. Have you ever been sitting in silence, lost in thought, when suddenly you feel a deep sense of comfort? Or maybe you wake up feeling unusually calm and reassured, even though nothing specific has changed in your life. These moments might not be random. It could be that someone is thinking of you, making dua for you, or remembering you with love. And without knowing it, your heart responds. There are also times when you suddenly feel uneasy, as if something is pulling at your emotions. You might not know why, but your heart feels a disturbance. This too can be a sign of a connection between souls. Perhaps someone is struggling, longing for your presence, or holding on to memories of you. The heart can sense what words cannot express. Allah has created human beings with an incredible ability to feel beyond what is visible. If we are deeply connected to someone through faith, love, or even shared experiences, their thoughts and emotions may affect us, even from a distance. So the next time you experience an unexplainable moment of warmth, an unexpected rush of energy, or even an emotional shift when thinking of someone, do not ignore it. It might not just be your body reacting. It could be a reflection of someone's sincere thoughts, du'as, or longing for you. And in that moment, turn to Allah. Pray for that person, just as they may be praying for you. Because in the unseen world of hearts, what is felt is often more real than what is spoken. 5. When Allah puts their name in your heart, sometimes without any clear reason, a person's name keeps coming to your mind. You might be going about your day, focused on something else, yet their name or face suddenly appears in your heart. You might even try to brush it off, but it returns again and again. In these moments, have you ever wondered, why this person? Why now? In Islam, we believe that thoughts of others are not always random. There is wisdom behind them. Allah is the one who places love, concern, and reminders of certain people in our hearts. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, said, "When Allah loves a servant, he calls Jibril and says, 'Indeed, I love so-and-so, so love him.' So Jibril loves him, and then he announces to the inhabitants of the heavens, 'Indeed, Allah loves so-and-so, so love him.' Then acceptance is placed for him on earth." Sahih al-Bukhari, 3209, Sahih Muslim, 2637. This hadith is a powerful reminder that love, connection, and even the remembrance of someone are not coincidences. If Allah places a person's name in your heart, it could be for a reason far greater than you realize. Perhaps they are in need of dua, and Allah is guiding you to pray for them. Perhaps they have been thinking of you intensely, and your souls are responding to each other. Or maybe they are meant to be part of your life in a meaningful way. But how do you know if these thoughts are a sign or just passing emotions? The answer lies in the feeling that comes with them. If thinking about this person brings peace, comfort, and positivity, then it could be a sign of a good connection, one that is rooted in sincerity and goodness. However, if the thought of them brings unease, distress, or confusion, then it may be a test or a lesson that Allah wants you to reflect on. Whenever you find yourself thinking about someone persistently, take it as an opportunity for something greater. Instead of overanalyzing why they are on your mind, turn to Allah. Make dua for them. Ask Allah to grant them ease, to guide them, and to bless them with what is best. You may never know what they are going through, but your dua could be the unseen help they need at that moment. This is the beauty of how Allah connects hearts, even from a distance, even in silence. The bond between souls exists. So if someone's name lingers in your heart, do not ignore it. It could be a sign that Allah is reminding you of them for a purpose beyond what you can see. Strengthen the bonds of the heart. Allah has created our hearts with a special ability, an unseen connection that goes beyond words and distance. When someone thinks about you with sincerity, their thoughts and emotions can reach you in ways you may not fully understand. Sometimes it's through a dream. Other times, it's an unexpected feeling of peace or a sudden meeting that seems too perfectly timed to be a coincidence. These are not just random events. They are part of Allah's divine wisdom. Let's take a moment to reflect on the 5 clear signs we discussed. 1. Unexplainable thoughts and dreams. When someone suddenly comes to your mind or appears in your dreams for no clear reason. 2. A sense of peace from dua, the hidden blessings when someone sincerely prays for you. 3. Unexpected meetings, when Allah repeatedly brings certain people into your life in ways you never planned. 4. Physical reactions to emotions, the way our hearts and bodies respond to unseen connections. 5. When Allah places their name in your heart, a sign that some relationships are written in the heavens. These signs remind us that love, care, and connection are all part of Allah's divine plan. Sometimes we may not see these bonds, but we can feel them deeply. So the next time you sense that someone is thinking about you, don't ignore it. Pause, reflect, and turn to Allah. Seek His wisdom and guidance. And most importantly, make dua for yourself, for them, and for the purity of the bond between you. Because in the end, the strongest relationships are built on sincerity, faith, and the remembrance of Allah. May Allah bless our hearts with love, sincerity, and barakah in our relationships. May He strengthen the bonds that bring us closer to Him and protect us from those that are not meant for us. Ameen. If you found this message meaningful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Islamic wisdom.